Hi, my name is Morgan Barnard. I'm a Vital Spaces visiting artist, and I'm going to show you how to make short experimental videos with your camera phone or webcam. We're going to use our cameras in interesting ways, not just to capture reality, but we're going to view our cameras as expressive image creation devices. We'll explore the interaction of lights, materials, and the optical systems of our cameras to create abstract visual imagery. As an artist, I've always been interested in light, lenses, and cameras to create imagery. My dad is a filmmaker and my grandfather was a photographer. I grew up playing with 35mm film strips and old editing equipment. I was fascinated by the interplay of light and shadow to create imagery. In public art projects, I use lighting to visualize environmental data like the Aurora Clouds project at the Biopark. It uses NOAA space weather data to create a dynamic lighting display for the Penguin Chill exhibit. As a digital artist, I have created projects that use cameras as a way to capture, sample, and interpret light. The lens becomes a creative tool for expression by manipulating the light coming into the camera. An ongoing project of mine called In Camera is focused on creating content in real time, on the fly. I start the project with no content, then I use the camera to capture light in interesting ways to make video samples for creating a live visual montage of abstract imagery. In this project, we're going to do something similar. We're going to work with the camera to create some experimental visual imagery by using light sources and materials we find around the house. This project will focus on creating the content, but you can take this footage and create edits or incorporate it into other video projects, or you can just share single clips on social media just as they are. Step 1. Select your camera. A mobile phone camera will work great. Even an older phone might give you interesting results. If you have an external web camera, you can use that as well. One important thing here is to look for an application for your camera, if it's on your phone, where you have manual control over the various mechanics of the camera, like focus, exposure, maybe shutter speed. Step 2. Find some objects that interact with light. Maybe you have a prism or some glass containers. Those will work well for putting in front of the lens to help distort the light. You can also explore materials like fabrics or reflective materials. Step 3. Find some objects that emit light. Keychains with LEDs, headlamps, desk lamps, the sun. Think about how light and shadow interact. I often observe how light enters buildings to create intricate patterns on the wall. I've been documenting these types of interactions for a long time. Step 4. Locate a stage. Find somewhere in your house where you can set up a light, have access to some materials, maybe that you can control the light in this space, and start experimenting with the relationships between the camera, the light, and any of the other objects you have. Focus on creating images that you can't normally create with a camera. What kind of worlds can you create by placing the camera up close to a strange surface or projecting light through an object? Or finding ways to create your own effects like you might find in an Instagram filter. This is your opportunity to create a unique visual style by controlling how light enters the lens of the camera. We're going to make abstract imagery that conveys a mood or a theme. Some of the themes to think about during this time of year are renewal, growth, spring, light. The light in the early evening can be especially interesting. Maybe there's some ways to capture it as it comes into your house. Think about filming as editing. Oftentimes I will count during my shots to make them the right length for the project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. Starting and stopping the clips as they record could be a good way to document certain moments or create certain moods. Video is a very modular medium, meaning that its parts can be rearranged to create a new sequence. During the editing process, you can get more specific with this and develop a way to structure your videos further. Think of ways to add pattern or rhythms to video by creating a sequence of regular clip length. One example might be 5 clips that are each 5 seconds long. It creates a very modular format that is loopable because the beginning and the end are different. And it's a fun way to get used to working with your editing system to make precise edits. Now it's your turn to create something completely new that you can call your own. Many of the apps we use allow you to apply filters and effects, but this exercise will put you in control of creating new imagery. You can either share these clips straight to social media, or you can work in an editing program to create edited videos. Experiment and explore. Create your own unique visual worlds.